All right. Good morning, everyone. I am with Roman Brick.
Yes.
I'm live, Roman. What would you like to say?
Yes, I'm here peacefully protesting in front of, in the neighborhood of Judge Janet McFarland. I've been publicly criticizing without, of course, endorsing any type of violence or
Right.
unlawful behavior.
It's just put the sign a bit closer what you're protesting to show the public.
Yes. So I have copies of my federal complaint, which I intend to distribute to the public, completely within my First Amendment rights. It's important for the public to have the right to protest their public officials. Her McFarland's address is public. She put it on online as given her illegal political donations, which are prohibited for judges. And I'm utilizing my First Amendment right. I think it's important for neighbors to know, like criminal offenders. McFarland violated the law multiple times. She violated CPLR 2219 when she didn't schedule hearings on time. She violated the federal law when she was refused to stop treating or actually taking any actions in my case, which while my case was removed into the Southern District of New York. So it's important for the public to know. So I have copies of my federal complaint here, which I want to give to the neighbors.
Right.
So that's what I will do right now. Thank you for
Absolutely.
streaming.
I'm gonna continue. Yeah. And just could you could if people are joining, you could emphasize again to the public what we're doing right now.
It's a peaceful advocacy actions for the neighbors to know.
Right.
The judge is here violating the rights of children and parents.
Right.
The neighbor just accepted the paper, so I'm just leaving it.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing.
Let's see the close neighbors. I have multiple copies of it.
And just to re-emphasize, in case people
First
who
Amendment.
haven't,
First Amendment.
because
Judges
I know
are
people are
government
joining.
officials.
I don't know how
Okay.
many people are on now. It's sort of early, but
Yes. Doing absolutely peaceful.
Mhm.
If police comes, we'll peacefully disperse.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within First
Very
Amendment
good.
rights.
Very good.
Remember which houses I.
Uh-huh. So if people aren't aware, just to re-emphasize, in case you're joining, I'm with Roman Brick. I'm sorry, he's one of many victims of Judge Janet McFarland, and he's just here peacefully protesting and advocating. And just explain again what it's about.
Well, Judge McFarland violated my rights, and many parents who actually come online. There's a Facebook group which is covering the atrocities committed in her courtroom.
I don't. Okay. Yeah, I had a connectivity issue here, and let me just see the sign. If I could just take a picture. So, pretty much.
Not
this is,
advocating any type of violence.
Absolutely.
I
This
think
is
they're
just.
completely peaceful.
Yeah.
distributing the copies, which is publicly available complaint and paste it.
Right. Hello, good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
How are you?
Can I share reading materials with you, sir?
I'm gonna drop off my daughters and stuff.
All right, have a great day.
Thank you.
No problem. So if anyone's joining right now, I know it's early. Roman Brick, who is a very vocal, outspoken parent who's been victimized by family court, and he's just advocating the removal of Judge Janet McFarland. For these
I'm
many
advocating
reasons.
following the law and the Constitution,
100%.
protecting the rights of our children.
And we're here peacefully protesting and advocating since she is a public figure.
She's a public
And-
servant.
Yeah, 100%. And the public needs to be aware.
Yes, it's important. Fully protected by the U.S. Constitution,
Right.
case law,
100%.
absolutely peaceful. The neighbors.
And Roman, also, if I may add, he's a member of the press. So if you want to show your press pass right here. Amazing. And he's done great work. Look him up on Facebook if you haven't already, if you're friends with me. He has a lot more followers, but Roman Brick.
Well, you have more on Twitter, right?
I'm starting, I'm getting there. He's a great advocate, and all his content speaks for itself. Any other locations?
Yeah.
Okay. Down here a bit more.
Yes, neighbors are curious.
Sure. Again, if you're just joining in, I know it's early. I'm with Roman Brick.
Can I share reading materials with you? Can I share some reading materials with you?
Have a great day. So if you're just joining, I see a few people. I'm with Roman Brick. He's an advocate, and we are here peacefully protesting Judge Janet McFarland. If you could just show the sign again, please, and explain.
So,
Keep reiterating.
peaceful advocacy event, according to the First Amendment, sharing my federal complaint against McFarland with the neighbors. It's a publicly available document which outlines all the violations of the law, the Constitution, illegal donations, illegal practices, intimidating court watchers. This is something that the public needs to know, especially the neighbors. It's again completely peaceful. If
100%.
If NYPD shows up, I will peacefully leave, of course. There's no, you can see the sign,
Correct.
not advocating any type of.
Sorry, got a bit bad connectivity there, and he is a member of the press. And just to add again, re-emphasize, Janet McFarland is a public servant. So,
Like any other public servant.
any other public servant, many of this is public record.
enough copies for the neighborhood.
Yeah, you're doing great. This is great advocacy work, bringing this attention to the forefront, Roman.
Completely peaceful, completely legal.
100%.
Nice to leave. I will leave. McFarland's address is public. She herself made it public when she gave donations. Anybody can look it up on the Elections New York website. Just search by contributor. She's there. Again, within the First Amendment rights. And I would think that I would hope that Janet McFarland herself understands it.
Yeah, I would think so. Being a public servant, 100%.
There's a note for a mailman. Feel like a mailman. Remote start the car. Let's see how many copies we have left.
Just hold up the sign again so people see what this is about. If anyone who missed it,
Peaceful advocacy awareness event in the neighborhood of Janet McFarland within First Amendment rights. She's a public figure, public servant, like any politician. Nothing wrong with that.
and once again, this is Roman Brick, for those who don't know, and he's one of many victims of the family court, particularly I keep getting spotty reception, folks. Yeah, he's a victim of the family court, particularly Judge Janet McFarland of Richmond County Family Court in Staten Island. So
the backpack is stained with the slime that my kids play with. So, has emotional value.
yeah, you know, this is what happens.
And I'm a journalist, so I'm covering that.
Yeah,
I need one copy to show. Boom.
very good.
Let's see. Did this house get one? Four more. Okay. I have to print more.
Amazing the public awareness.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie for myself.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Just, I know we keep reiterating, but we have to.
Yes,
you
thanks,
know.
thanks. I believe all of us, we have to draw the public attention to what's going on in family courts.
100%.
Completely lawless, completely
And again,
unconstitutional.
protected under our First Amendment constitutional right.
Anything that I'm doing here is completely protected by my freedom of speech, explicitly mentioned in the First Amendment, which has been forgotten, unfortunately, or
Right.
actually erased by
100%.
family courts. So it's important to do this completely legal, direct action.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So can I interest you in reading materials? No? Thank you.
Have a great day. So for those who are joining again, just to repeat myself, I'm here with Roman Brick, peaceful advocacy protest regarding family court, in particular, Judge Janet McFarland. If you could explain,
This one I already got.
if you could explain again what you're handing out.
I'm handing out a copy of a federal lawsuit that they filed against her, Roman Brick against Janet McFarland. It's taken for PACER. It's a public document. Docket number 23. That's the year -CV, civil case -3507. Anyone can look it up on PACER. And the neighbors have the right to know.
Absolutely. Neighbors are the public, so they certainly have the right to know.
Let's check this one. I covered.
Are you covered? Maybe there's a bit more down you missed.
Yes, let's see.
Slow connection. Okay.
Obviously, it's a emotional situation. So
Just speak up a bit, just so we can hear. Wait for the truck to pass. Yes, I'm sorry. So say it again, Roman.
it's an emotional situation. Thank you for doing what you do. We have city workers smiling here. Yeah, everybody understands. Nothing illegal here. What's here? I have one more copy to give up.
Yeah.
So now it's time for me to go live. We can
Okay.
broadcast together.
I will continue recording you.
You'll get your reporting chops.
Yeah, my 15 minutes of fame.
So far so good.
Yeah, amazing.
I believe around 25.
25 copies. Wow. Let's hope that that information is disseminated, that people wake up and of course they share it.
People
and-
did it in other states. People
Yeah,
protested in front of
not just New York. This has to be
neighborhoods of- yes.
this has to be brought to the forefront nationally, on a national level. So you're doing great work. You're leading the way, and the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Eli, for supporting me here. I'll go live.
Yeah,
I'll go live myself.
I'm waiting. Any words, Roman, while you're trying to go live?
Well, I hope I look presentable enough for a mugshot.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. people will start joining. Many of you know me from my advocacy for over a year now, being essentially a public figure, trying to expose the public court corruption. I am here in the neighborhood of Janet McFarland, peacefully exercising my First Amendment rights. I know it might be a mirror picture that you're seeing, but basically that's the line of exposures that I've been doing, and many parents joining me, attesting to the same type of illegal, unlawful, unconstitutional treatment in Janet McFarland's courtroom. That's not a personal attack, God forbid, on her, but people who have no children should have no business making decisions in family court. So that's why I've been emphasizing the fact that again, it's not a personal issue. I have nothing personal against Janet McFarland, but people should have families in order to be, or children, in order to understand the children's behavior and make decisions that are affecting, and in many cases they're simply ruining lives of children and parents. So that's the neighborhood. I've been distributing the copies of my federal complaint that I filed against her. It's a public document. It is on Pacer. For those who have account, very simple to open an account, and multiple services that actually provide free copies of document filings. In the court, actually right outside the courtroom. So the case number is 23-CV. 23 is the year, CV is the civil case type, 3507, and it's a public document. So what I did, I made the multiple copies, and I essentially just gave it out to neighbors and put it in the mailboxes. Actually, a couple of people accepted it just from my hand. Anyway, again, it's a completely peaceful advocacy action. You can see that nobody's here. So no NYPD. If they do show up, I will of course comply with any lawful orders. So, but so far so good. When your children are being attacked by a tyrannical, lawless government, and don't be mistaken, judges are just part of the government. They're just judiciary is one of the arms of the government. We are completely within our rights, First Amendment rights, to peacefully assemble, peacefully protest, peacefully advocate. So that's what I'm doing here, and I don't think that it seems like the neighborhood is actually of the same opinion. I'm fully prepared to face again peacefully and respectfully the officers, anyone who will come. But so far so good. I was able to distribute about I believe 25 copies, and again, completely peaceful, beautiful skies here in New York. Another victim of the court, Eli Evans, he's a witness. So
hello, guys.
Yes, it's my action, my advocacy event. So he's just documenting in case of any provocations or lies. So that's the idea. But then again, it's completely peaceful. So let's see who is watching. See, one friend is watching. I'll leave the live, of course, on Facebook. I also opened my feed, so in case I am arrested, need help with bail, then people can post on my feed. But so far so good. Again, peaceful. It's a quiet, nice neighborhood. No intention whatsoever to not keep it quiet. No megaphone, nothing like that. This is my sign. Sticker plate. I'll try to turn the camera around, and then I'll reconnect again. Thanks, everybody. Okay.
Very good, and we just the awareness is amazing.
Never do it. Post now. Privacy public. Excellent. You can create a reel. Leave it for later. Okay, it seems now that actually the neighbors are respecting my First Amendment. It's still United States of America. It's beautiful.
100%.
Yeah, nothing illegal here. So now the decision is when to leave the area. I think people have not left for work yet. So what's the time now? 7:57.
Oh, yeah, 3 minutes
It's
to
reasonable
8.
to stay something like maybe 15-20 minutes. We'll see. You can share your live on my feed as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that, but
Maybe later, yes,
yeah,
once it's possible.
I'll just keep it as it is. But any other words, anything you want to say? I know a lot of it's, we're going over it. Of course, as people join and see, if they don't watch the whole video, just so they understand what's happening. Just to say it again.
Yeah, no, it's that's what the journalist does, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll get this bad.
I thought I did. Yeah, it keeps my connectivity keeps going. I thought I turned off my alarm, but okay. Anyway, for those who will be watching, are watching now, I see a few on my feed are watching. Thank you for your support, Brad, Reich Lee. Thank you. So for those viewers, if you could just reiterate again why we're here.
Yeah, so it's here. It's my initiative. My good friend and fellow victim of matrimonial/family court, Eli Evans, is just a witness, but that's my event. That's my sign.
Right.
This is my complaint.
Yeah.
So I'm here peacefully exercising my First Amendment rights in the neighborhood of Judge Janet McFarland, who has been tormenting me and my children, and many children and parents.
You're one of many victims. You're not the only one.
Yes. So that's a public group,
Yeah.
actually, where many parents congregate and report the completely identical abuse at the hands of Janet McFarland. Nothing personal against her, of course, but the behavior that is exhibited and observed in her courtroom needs to stop. So both outside the courtroom and also inside the courtroom, I myself experienced brutal violations of the United States Constitution and the New York laws. There's so many examples. That's why I'm actually handing out copies of my federal complaint that I filed against her and her court officer, who physically attacked me at one point, blocked access during another event. So it's a civil complaint filed by me in the federal court for the Eastern District of New York. The case number is 23-CV-3507, and it describes a lot of events. So I gave out physical copies, but anyone can go on Pacer or free services that actually provide copies of the legal documents filed in federal court. It's completely public,
100%.
making the access easier. So several events that I can describe are, for example, not scheduling hearings timely. According to CPLR, that's a procedural law in New York, any hearing, any decision in a provisionary, let's say, phrase it, provisional or temporary matter has to be made within 20 days. Now, Janet McFarland did not even schedule, time after time, hearings within 20 days, let alone make a decision. So, which leads to alienation. I'm a victim of multiple false complaints, false allegations. You can watch my videos on my Facebook page, but my case started in Seattle, so there's a long story. But here in New York, I started with basically 50-50 plan. 2 CPS/ACS complaints were made. Both were dismissed. While that's a common tactic, unfortunately, to create parental alienation. Even after the case was completely dismissed, McFarland refused to give me back my children. Only after I went public, I got somewhat more time, but it's still very limited. The kids are brainwashed. The kids are alienated, and this is what the judges do by dragging their feet. So I appealed. I stopped counting how many times to the Intermediate Appellate Court, Second Appellate Division. I also went to the highest court in New York. I filed multiple complaints to federal court. People need to understand the system is completely rotten. The system is ideological. It's not for money. The idea is to break families, break children, break parents. That's the idea.
And you mentioned parental alienation, but also many people may not be aware, and I'm sure you are. It's the penal law. One sec. I'm sorry, I just got disconnected there. So for those watching, as I was saying, adding on to Roman, he mentioned alienation, but really the penal law charges custodial interference. So that's what many of these judges are facilitating. They are facilitating custodial interference. So that's really what it is.
That's one part of it, right? So, but custodial interference is actually a direct violation of a court order. But alienation can happen within legal limits, right? While the children are in the
well, no, of
custody
course,
the
but
alienator. So
people need to be aware of also the
right.
legal penal law term.
Right.
So
right. That's unfortunately it's not criminalized. It should be. It should be. This is a crime. This is a complete violation. It's just a form of child abuse. It's
right.
terrorizing the children. So that's what we need to bring to the forefront.
Absolutely.
I think I'll go live again myself.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Provide your commentary. You'll get the badge. That's a legal event. So
thank you.
let's see.
Just you could hold up the sign so the folks could see who are watching. Okay.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, and then the other document, again, as you mentioned. So
Yeah, it's a copy of federal complaint that I filed against McFarland's. Case 23-CV-3507 can be looked up. It's a public document. I just printed it out for ease of access for the public. So, and I distributed it to neighbors. Some of them actually took it by hand.
Amazing.
So, no issues. So this is still America. It's beautiful. People understand.
First Amendment right.
Yes.
First Amendment right, and just like any other politician, these judges, they're elected officials, and
some of them are elected. Family court judges in New York City are unfortunately selected,
but still elected. Public servants.
Correct.
And we don't live in Russia. We're not governed by emperors, tyrants. I mean, they think they are, but they're not. We still have a constitution, and this is within the realm of our First Amendment right to peacefully protest and advocate what's going on, and that includes judges.
Absolutely.
We're all part of this system.
Let me
Sure.
put a note out to. I'm blessed with thousands of viewers and followers. Some are public.
Oh, just watch out. There's yeah.
Many more are still lurkers, but they will come around.
Yeah.
Peaceful awareness event in McFarland's neighborhood. Watch my life. Watch my live stream.
And you mentioned there's a way to share it.
Yes.
Which button?
Let's see. Try to add. Can you?
This one, right? Oh no.
Yeah, allowed guests. Okay. We can invite people. Yes, that's beautiful. Maybe it's too early. We have people from different time zones.
Okay. I think I worked it a bit better. So anyway, So for those who are, see, there's maybe one or two watching.
Excellent.
So for those of you who are not aware, we're here peacefully protesting and advocating. And sorry for the connectivity, folks. Just once again, we're peacefully protesting and advocating for those who are joining in Judge Janet McFarland's neighborhood. I'm with Roman Brick, who's a victim of family court. Good morning. How are you?
Gentlemen.
Hello. Along with many other victims, and he's public, and he also is a journalist, and many of his content is on Facebook and other platforms detailing the violations that he was a victim of Judge Janet L. McFarland. And if you just want to add on to that, Roman, while you're getting your
I'm
live
trying
feed.
to go live myself. And the image is mirrored, so people can see the sign, but then I'm sure they
Amazing.
see
And
it.
also, if you could show the federal complaint that you handed out to the neighbors. Once again, as you detailed, and I'll probably repeat it for the 15th time, this is public information, a public document, I should say, which you could find on Pacer, so it is accessible to the public.
Yes, just a copy.
Which includes neighbors, so nothing that you were handing out is private. And in the
right.
details, what it's occurring. And just like any other public servant, Janet McFarland she is a public servant, like many judges who are elected, and we are well protected within our First Amendment right to peacefully protest and advocate for violations that she's committing. So
Yes, I'm inviting friends, but
Yeah.
many people are different time zones.
yeah.
So this, I invited guests.
I'm going to try to invite more people. Thank you for all those who are viewing. James, John, I think there were a few others before. I'm going to try to invite more. Actually, I'm going to try to invite more. Let's see what I have. Okay. You got it, or still working on that connection?
Still working, I'm just,
Morning.
they don't make it easy.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh. Facebook is well, it's a whole nother issue we won't get into now. Also, if you folks are interested, Roman's on Facebook, but I am as well, along with Twitter, so follow me on Twitter, also known as X, formerly known as Twitter, I should say.
Okay, I'm Roman Brick. You might know me from my advocacy work on Facebook, on YouTube. With regards to family court, I'm here peacefully exercising my First Amendment rights. It's my good friend and fellow victim of matrimonial / family court, Eli Evans. I'm here to help the neighbors understand what is going on in Lawless Family Court. This is the sign. Finally chose that I prepared. Let's see if it can be shown more clearly. So again, completely peaceful. I've been here, I think, for good 20 minutes. So far, nobody showed up. It's great. It's still America, New York.
Yeah,
People understand that's First Amendment.
100%.
So no issues here. Came with the sign. I'm not blocking anything. It's a quiet neighborhood, and it should remain that way. Beautiful skies here in New York. I prepared also a copy of a little complaint that I filed against McFarland's, so I distributed it to the neighbors. Case number 23-CV-3507 can be looked up on Pacer or any free public service. Essentially, this is just service to the public instead of going and getting a copy themselves. That's something that I am providing. Again, a couple neighbors came out and actually took it from my hand. No issues there. So far, so good. Nobody called NYPD. If NYPD comes, no issues. I will leave if asked. But it seems like prior events actually, even when the police officers were present, there was a basic understanding that the First Amendment actually protects Americans' right to peacefully assemble and petition the government. Judges are part of the government, so it's important for us to show up. It has been done multiple times across the U.S. Has been done in Texas in Jeff Younger's case. Has been done in the state of Washington. Has been done in New York, I believe, in upstate New York. And of course, the fairly recent events with the protests in front of the houses of the Supreme Court judges. That's no issues there. So people are joining. Excellent. Let me see if I can turn the camera. Hey, Mr. Mansour. Thank you for joining. Hey, Michael. I saw Ronald. Excellent. Thank you. Hey, for those joining, I am in Janet McFarland's neighborhood, peacefully exercising my First Amendment rights. So far, I'm here for 20-25 minutes. No issues so far. If there are any issues, I will leave if asked. But so far, it seems that the New York neighbors of the judge do understand the value of the First Amendment. Again, it's very, very quiet, very peaceful. My full intent is for that to stay that way. Thank you, Michael. So, thanks for joining. This is the sign. I know it's a mirror image. Before that, and I posted a copy of it last night. Got it prepared. So. That's basically advocacy. Childless, corrupt judgment, Janet McFarland, separate children from loving parents. This is not a personal attack, God forbid, on anyone. It's a fact. It's a fact, and I believe, and many believe actually, I did post a video by Judge Judy. She's a real judge in New York, that only those who have children should be family court judges. You need to understand the psychology, the dynamics. So it's a fact. Again, nothing personal, and I have nothing personal against Janet McFarland. Not going for any type, God forbid, of violence, threats, or even influence. It's just advocacy. People need to know what is going on. And corruption, unfortunately, that's also a fact. I did expose the illegal donations, which are GC, the Commission on Judicial Conduct, disregarded the complaints. The CJC is a fake body. Nominally, there's no majority of judges there, but if you add the lawyers whose livelihoods depend on judges, that's a clear supermajority of judges and lawyers. So nothing happens there. Basically, they do accept complaints from time to time when they're completely egregious, impossible to ignore. The head of the New York State Judiciary actually retired abruptly after exposure. But as many victims know, basically nothing is done, which is what I experienced. So one other thing that I did here is I printed out copies of my federal complaint that I filed against McFarland. That's case 23-CV-3507 in the federal court for the Eastern District of New York. And I just I left it in the mailboxes of the neighbors, and a couple neighbors came out, took it from my hand. So no issues there. Nobody called the police so far. Completely peaceful. Nothing extraordinary. I am prepared, still prepared, was prepared for any eventuality, but so far so good. Let's see. Any questions for those watching? And of course, I leave the live there. I already recorded one. I was trying to make the initial announcement for the followers I'm blessed with. Let's see. I have another aspiring journalist here. He's just a witness. This is my event. I'm taking full responsibility and risk. Eli?
Good morning, everyone.
So we're doing cross live here. Yes, he's posting on his page. Yep. Very, very good. I see some encouraging messages there. So yeah, I have a question from Mahmoud Mansour here. So can she try to get an order of protection against you, and she'll sign it herself? In my opinion, no. So she can potentially get an order of protection against me, but her jurisdiction, and we know to what extent family court, abide by jurisdiction. But she's a family court judge, right? So she adjudicates cases related to families, custody, visitation, down the line potentially. That's the career progression for judges. Termination of parental rights, adoptions. We know the horrible reality of and truth needs to be said. The child trafficking chain of custody or supply chain that starts in family courts, people are not aware, goes through foster care, and then children disappear, declared runaways. But that's not her jurisdiction. Again, judges do whatever they do, whatever they want, basically. But I don't believe that would be an egregious violation. So she can make potentially an order, but not. It would make her a party to the case. So I don't believe that's an eventuality. And of course, she can call the cops. I might get arrested, even though I'm not doing anything illegal. It's completely within my rights. Even as federal judges, there was a famous protest, actually not once, during the adjudication and when the draft was leaked for the, let's see. Yes, Michael is saying, keep on educating the world what these judges do to us. Yes, absolutely right. That's what we need to do. That's what I'm doing. There's no other choice.
If I could just chime in, James Kelly said it took 7 years for the CJC to remove a judge for aiming a loaded firearm at a litigant in the courtroom. They only did it because he continued to brag about it. Well, yes. Thanks for
yes.
That is something, James.
Yeah, James Kelly is a great advocate. He was an inspiration to what he's doing here. So to some extent these are uncharted waters. I'm in the judge's neighborhood. I did my own legal analysis and research. I know it's fully legal. Judges are government officials. They are not elected in New York City. They're selected, which is a shame.
Well, the Supreme Court judges are elected. Right, the family court are on a lower level. But once again, still public servants, and still you're within your right to protest peacefully.
Yes. And
they're like any other public servent, like elected officials, city employees, just like anyone else, state employees.
Yeah, it's just peaceful single picketing, which is legal in every country. I'm a member of the press.
Show your press pass so they can see.
I believe. Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. Eli is narrating here with me, so I believe I'm one of the first parents actually who got this in the United States, maybe in the world. Not to over-congratulate myself, but yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you very much. Mahmoud is actually saying thanks for explaining that to all of us. Roman, we all stand by you. Guys, please feel free to ask questions. I'm here, so I'm interested in, of course, showing people that it can be done. There is when you resist any type of tyranny, there's a risk. I'm prepared for the risk. I hope it will not materialize, but these atrocities and the lawlessness and the violations of the Constitution have to stop. It's unbelievable what we've been experiencing. So see, Ryan is joining. Thank you. People can actually join me on video.
And if I could just highlight again, as I get more viewers, I'm here with Roman Brick. We're here peacefully protesting, advocating in the neighborhood of Judge Janet L. McFarland. She is a public servant, so Roman, as well as anyone else, is protected within the First Amendment right. Just like politicians, elected politicians, judges are also elected, and we are within our rights to protest against them as well, as you could see. Yes. And if you could just highlight a bit more to the new viewers about what's going on.
Cross live with a good friend and a fellow victim.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, lawless courts. Hila Evans. That's my event. I'm taking full responsibility for that. Hila is just witnessing it, but responsibility sounds like
so if you could just show the sign up again and highlight what's going on.
Yes, that's a sign. My live stream shows it as mirrored image, but people on Hila's live stream should see it normally. So basically, it's neighbors need to know that what's going on in family court.
Yeah.
So that's a sign that I prepared, not calling for any type of God forbid violence or threats or even influence. This is it's an exposure. Judge, and again, personally, I might even sympathize with the fact that she has no children, but there are plenty of other jobs in the judicial domain and jurisprudential domain that the person can have.
And if you could just show what you handed out to the neighbors again.
Yes.
Another public document. This is a federal complaint. It's public.
Correct. Yes.
Anyone could view it on Pacers if you're not aware.
Yes. So thank you, Ryan. Ryan saying good work, guys. Nothing illegal at all. Absolutely right. First Amendment. This is still America. This is still America.
We're not in Russia or North Korea yet.
Government
we're not there yet. So
not there yet, but it's getting there.
We do have a constitution.
Yes.
So people, please, folks, don't forget that.
Right. So yes, Ryan, I agree. Judges are clueless. You know, some of them know exactly what they're doing. Maybe the majority. So I was handing out to the neighbors here a copy of my federal complaint that I filed against McFarland. The case number is 23CV, civil case 23 is the year, 23-CV-3507 that I filed in the Eastern District of New York against her and her court of public domain copies, and I handed it out to the neighbors. Some of them actually, they came out, or they were on the street, they accepted it from my hand. I probably should have prepared more copies, but I would say, yes, I got around 25, kept one copy. In case I need to provide it to the DA. Hopefully it will not come to that. So, yes, thanks everybody.
James Kelly asked, and I probably could answer that. He said, does Janet McFarland attempt to close the courtroom to the public in order to prevent court watchers from witnessing what occurs in the courtroom? And to my understanding, sorry, someone's coming in. To my understanding, no, it's a very small courtroom. So in your actual court with the family court in Richmond County, they do allow. So that she's been allowing that,
yes,
but in a limited capacity.
It's much more actually nuanced than that. So what happens is they won't let people in if they are not related to some extent or related to the case at all. So actually, one victim invited me, another victim of McFarland asked me to come, and she asked me to enter the courtroom. That happened a couple months ago, and I was physically blocked. So the same court guard, Levanko, came out saying, "You have no business." He was shouting at me, approaching, invading my personal space. The event that described my federal complaint, he actually attacked me physically. He did attack me. It was a physical contact.
Wow.
The second time that I'm describing, he was just standing in my face saying, "You have no business to be here."
Wow.
And they won't allow people to be in the courtroom, which is illegal. According to Section 4 of the New York State judiciary law, all court proceedings are open to the public, so they won't allow that.
100%.
The doors are solid wood. You cannot see what's going on, unlike in other courts. There's no foyer, there's no lobby that you can pass through, so it's just blocked, so you don't know. And then within the courtroom, which is important, They strategically placed chairs, limited number of chairs. Initially, they used the COVID excuse. They kept clearly there was more space. There was space for at least, in my estimate, 2 benches. But they placed 3 chairs, even way after the restrictions were lifted, and they wouldn't allow people in. Now it's the chairs are less spaced, from each other. But actually, several times I had 6-7 people. I'm very lucky to be supported by good friends like Eli and fellow victims, and people were forced to stay outside in the hallway. And it's also done strategically in order to discourage public from attending. So people who come from far away, specifically to support a court victim, they cannot. They won't come again if they are there's no place for them.
James is asking also, were you allowed to be heard on the record before the closure?
Yes, but it does nothing. It does nothing. So yeah. And if
you could just get, for those who are now watching, new viewers who I'm getting here and there, people are coming in and out, just explain your background and what we're here for. If you could just reiterate that.
It's a peaceful exercising of my First Amendment rights. Janet McFarland is a government official, and just as any politician, any member of Congress, Senate, people who are making decisions that affect the public, we have the right to be present. So Tara, I see that Tara is joining, is watching. Cindy, thank you. I think people actually from far away from other countries. Ryan is saying trailblazer right here. Maybe the goal is just to protect our children. The goal is to restore the constitutional rights. I already posted one live. My federal complaint is here. Judge McFarland ignored the fact that 2 complaints filed against me, investigated by CPS, ended with nothing. I was completely exonerated. The complaints were used as a weapon, like it's done in many custody cases. I started with a virtually 50-50 agreement in Seattle. The kids were relocated to the state of New York under the assumption that we'll go back to the previous plan. Hasn't been done. I had to file in court, and when I started getting my time back, a complaint was made, and under this guise of the complaint, as a pretense, actually the children were withheld from me. And even after I got this completely exonerated, the Judge McFarland refused to return the kids to me. She refused to schedule hearings on time, as prescribed by CPLR. That's the New York law, procedural law 2219, in full violation. Of course, dragging the feet is done on purpose in order to facilitate and enable parental alienation. Only after I went public, I've been public for over a year, recording videos, blessed with large audience. My posts, I'm not trying to brag, but it's amazing how much thirst and desire and need and demand is there for truth about family courts. So tens of thousands of people. Actually, I hit a milestone recently with over 200,000 views of my posts. People see that. Only after I went public, my time with the children was somewhat moved toward normalization, but it stopped. It's not, I'm a father. I need to be a father. I need to be equally involved. I'm not a visitor, just a paycheck, just an ATM with outrageous child support, and that's why it's done. We know all that. Title 4D, keep the kids away under any pretense, justify child support, tax you for being a father, being a man. Of course, women are affected, and it seems more and more so, because the government, we're under tyranny, doesn't differentiate. But that's what's going on. There was another complaint made against me, again similarly dismissed, and McFarland refused to admit the dismissal letter into evidence. So it's unbelievable, and so many examples. It just time after time, blocking court watchers. I don't get any jury trial. Nobody gets jury trials here, even though it's protected and envisioned by the United States Constitution, 6th Amendment, 7th Amendment. There's plenty of materials that I posted. So again, peaceful action in the neighborhood. Beautiful skies here in New York. I actually have court, so please pray for me, my kids, everybody's kids, at 11 a.m. I think we need to wrap up here.
Yeah.
so-
I mean, this has been phenomenal.
Yeah. Thank you for
You've
about
been
that.
able to peacefully protest here without any interference and within your First Amendment right, and it's amazing. So,
Yep. Nobody
yes,
came. No
please support
NYPD.
Roman.
Yeah.
He does have a case at 11 a.m. And anyone who could make it, what's the location?
It's 18 Richmond Terrace, Staten Island, New York.
Okay, perfect. So anyone who's local, who's able to make it, I know it's short notice, that would be extremely appreciated. But if
Yes.
you can't, continue to support and pray for him.
Yes, and if you can join, just words of prayer. It works. Thanks everybody. Thank you again. Neighborhood sign, copy of my federal complaint that I distributed to the neighbors. No NYPD, no court guard. Beautiful. It's still America. First Amendment still works. So it's an unfortunate example, but it's an example of what we all should be doing. Thanks everybody. I'll try to connect later. Leave your comments. Leave your thoughts, ideas, questions. Thanks everybody.
Okay, logging off. Thank you everyone for your support, and any last words, Roman?
I need to take my backpack.
Right, we almost forgot that. Good point. Just live stream just in case. It's good I didn't shut it off.
No, it's good. It's a neighborhood. So.
Yeah. Okay. James Kelly asked if there's a virtual session. It is physical, James, but not to my knowledge, there is no virtual. Is there, Roman?
No,
No, there isn't, James.
no. Another courtrroom. The chief judge, the leader of the court, Alison Hamanjan, does hold the hybrid hearings, but not McFarland, even though they have the setting there.
Got it. Okay, everyone, thank you again for your support. I'm logging off. Be well.